IELTS doesn't check your feelings. What IELTS does check is that your feelings towards these individuals will remain the same throughout. Hi there, and thank you for submitting your Task 1 letter for assessment at IELTS Juice. Let's go through it. The rubric says the parents of your Australian friend, Chris, have invited you to a surprise birthday party for him or her. Let me clarify that I'm going to assume Chris is a male name and I'm going to address him as him or his or he throughout the letter. The idea why her is here is because IELTS wants to observe the gender neutrality. So you don't assume a name of an individual and you assume the gender based on the name. That's all. So for me, it's a male name. I'm gonna just choose that and go ahead with that. So you will not lose any score if you delete him and just focus on her. That will be totally fine. All right. So let's break it down. You have a very good friend. His name is Chris, and Chris's parents have secretly sent you a letter, and in the letter they invited you as part of Chris's birthday party, upcoming birthday party, to join the party. And I don't know, maybe you do certain things or you bring this gift or whatever, but all the details are in that letter. Now it's your turn to write a letter to Chris's parents. So in this communication, you're second. So you are not initiating the communication. The communication was started by the parents, the Australian parents, and now you're responding to it. So we need, in the beginning of our letter, we need to kind of acknowledge that and reflect on it. Now in our letter, we need to say why we think here, Chris will enjoy the surprise party. This is the joyful part. You basically need to react to whatever bits of news you heard on that letter from the parents. So you're going to read and you're going to see, they're going to say that, okay, the cake will be this, with this flavor, which is Chris's favorite. And you're going to react and say, wow, I believe that's a brilliant idea. You're going to see that they are going to invite these friends or family members that Chris hadn't seen for maybe ages. You also included. You are also a part of this. You're part of the friends and family members. You're also going to say that wow, I mean, I'm honored that I'm in that group, that you look at me as one of Chris's favorite people, best friends. You maybe other details. I'm just speculating, okay? So everything that comes to your head would do. Explain why you won't be able to attend the party. Oh, that's a pity. Here you need, the first bullet point had this uplifting, reactive, joyful, and this lovely motion or emotion to it, rather. The second one, sad, a little, yeah, what a pity. I cannot come. I mean, sorry. That tone. So the tone changes here. We need to be flexible here, because the tone must comply with this. You cannot just be joyful. You cannot say, oh, you know what? I cannot come. You enjoy that. That doesn't sound very good. And the last one, give details of a plan to choose Chris, Chris at a different time. So yeah, you cannot be there at this particular time on this particular day, but you have other plans. You can meet him somewhere else. Now that would be a compensation. Now here, after this sad news, you can give them, sad news over here, you can give them some good news that doesn't hurt them, doesn't hurt their feelings. You know, the parents, they included you, they're going to such length as to invite you for the party, you know, and there are limited numbers. It's not like they're inviting 1,000 people. And it's going to be fun, but you're going to decline. You are going to come up with a reason, but immediately, in order to remove this bitter taste, you don't want to end that letter with this sad message that, sorry, I cannot come. Maybe next time, goodbye. You just need to say something that in the end they feel respected for the opportunity that they gave you. You declined, you had to, and now you respect it and you are going to compensate. In any shape, you make up for your absence. You're going to come up with something. Anyway, let's continue with the response. Okay, if you look at the rubric clearly tells you that you need to start your letter by saying, Dear Mr. and Mrs. Collins. So the individual here is Chris Collins. You're addressing Chris's parents, Mr. and Mrs. Collins. So that's not good. This is factual mistake. Factual mistake is an error for task 1 academic people, but in this case, you're getting some of the facts wrong, and I'm sorry. This is just not paying enough attention to the rubric. You will lose a lot of marks for this. Hope this letter finds you well. A little informal, a little. Remember, you're talking to your not best, but maybe one of your close friends' parents. Needs to be a little bit more respectful with, like, I hope this letter finds you well. But anyway, it's a minor thing. Firstly, I would like to appreciate, a correct spelling, your invitation to Chris's birthday party. Correct sentence, correct grammar, but not natural, because it is very weird that you are appreciating the letter, the invitation, not them. Not your invitation. I would like to appreciate your thoughtfulness, or your thoughts of including me to the birthday party. Appreciating the individuals is more important than appreciating a thing. I just feel maybe the tone here is like you may be you're distancing yourself from these people a little bit. That means a lot to me. I need a comma here. And because the subject changes. And I am really grateful for that. Okay. Now this is the type of sentence I was hoping to see. As you may know, Chris and I, because we're talking about the subject, this is the subject, this is a subject group, this is the verb. And in English, you always put other people first, and then you say anything about yourself. You don't say, I am Chris. It's not English. In English, we say, Chris and I have been close friends for a while. They know that. That's why you received this letter. You don't have to give them this information. And it is great to see your realization of that. Whoa, whoa, whoa. You hate these people, right? You hate the parents. And it's great that you finally realize that we are best friends. Finally, you realize that we are good friends, and you send me this invitation, and I appreciate the invitation. You don't like Mr. and Mrs. Collins. I get this vibe. If this is the vibe, then I need to see that throughout the letter. IELTS doesn't check your feelings. What IELTS does check is that your feelings towards these individuals will remain the same throughout. So I received this vibe already because it's my job for more than a decade. It's been my job to read between the lines. So trust me, if this was your intention, that intention needs to be in all the other sentences. If not, then you will get an error on changing the tone. So something to be careful about. I believe that such a surprise plan will make him feel intrigued. Good word? You are reacting as a general term to the surprise plan. You are not revealing any certain elements of it. Since, as far as I'm concerned, since I would have added another comma here, or maybe shifted here. He never had birthday party before. He never had birthday parties, probably plural, before. So, this usage of so is spoken, is informal. When you start a sentence by saying so. And it's not very suitable for writing. You're trying to maintain an informal tone, I understand. Just I hope this doesn't become a habit. It's not a very good fit for the context here. It will be interesting to see his immediate reaction to your surprise plan. Again, a sentence that feels like you want to take revenge. It's like, I wish I was there to see the look on your face when he, I don't know, opens his gift. Or I don't know why I keep getting this vibe from these sentences. I am keen to know more about the scenario that you planned earlier for this event. You already know that. This sentence tells me that you didn't read the previous letter clearly or completely, or some of the details are kept hidden from you that made you a bit angry, and that's why I can feel the anger so far. But apart from that, from the IELTS perspective, I do not see the elements here. It's very generic. There's a surprise plan. What does it entail? We don't know. I don't like that. It's very, very generic. Again, this will lower your task achievement score because we're just looking at it as something very generic without details. I'm saying these because details will help you come up with vocabulary and grammar. So, and to come up with details, you need to start thinking about a real party, about a real friend whose name is Chris and is from Australia. And the parents are Mr. and Mrs. Collins here. And then they have secretly sent you a letter directly and talked to you and revealed the plan to you. They entrusted you and you need to respond. This is a response to that letter. That will help you come up with better elements. Although I would really, spelling again, love to participate in the party, I am regretful is not that meaning as I regret. I regret to let you know means I'm sorry to tell you, you are not really regretful like you did something wrong and now your head is you put your head down and you just keep your eyes up and hope for forgiveness. You haven't done anything. You're just informing them. So I regret to let you know. And yeah, regret this is correct. Why there's a crossover? I don't know. We'll fix this. But I regret this is correct. I regret to let you know that I cannot be present there. All right. As you may be aware of my situation as a temporary immigrant here in Australia. Oh, okay, so you are in Australia. I am studying hard to do another IELTS exam to get the adequate score for my immigration purposes. Therefore, spelling please, I have scheduled an IELTS exam which coincides, good word, with the party. And I am afraid this and is not necessary, really. And I'm afraid I forgot his birthday. Even if you had forgotten his birthday, you don't bring it up. You know, it's kind of like adding more fuel to the fire. The letter has already made them a little uncomfortable. Now you're just adding more, like saying, yeah, really, Chris is not an important friend, so I really forgot his birthday. Yeah, whatever. I like this tone, by the way, that you have maintained this bitter tone throughout. When I was choosing the IELTS exam date. Okay. I know he is going to be upset about it, and for this reason, I would make a promise that I will. Now, when you make it, would is imaginary. And I will do my best. Don't make it, when you promise, when you want to promise, don't make it imaginary. Like, I would promise to you. You will promise. You cannot would a promise, like it's not imaginary. Make a promise. I promise. Now, promise itself may you may be able to fulfill that or not. You may be able to keep that promise or not. But it's a promise, and promise is by nature imaginary. You cannot imagine an imagination. It's just a little weird. So I promise to do my best to compensate for the inconvenience occurred. By the way, occurred spells or is spelled with double R here because the stress is on the second syllable. I am planning to gather all of our mutual friends and maybe this and is okay, and invite him to a McCoffee place nearby. Nearby is all one word. And surprise him with a big cake. There is an overuse of and. We have too many ands. There is no need. We can change all the things here. We can use a grammar, or we can just put a semicolon here. On top of that, we will surprise him with a big cake. And again, cake is a good word, but can we just come up with a variety, like a big chocolate cake, or a vanilla cake, a strawberry cake, banana cake, whatever? But, you know, big cake, I think we could do better. Thanks again for your kind consideration and hope everything goes well as planned. I will look forward to meeting you in the near future. Yeah, in the near future, not in how many futures are there? Just if there's the future. That's it. Nobody knows what that is, so we always refer to it as the future, like the present, like the past, as the entity of the future. Best regards, and then you put your names. You don't have to sign. 281 words. Let's look at the band descriptors. So the band descriptors tells us that 1, the tone was bitter and sometimes a bit inappropriate when you talk to parents of your very close friends. a very close friend in this case, you generally address the task. Again, the format is inappropriate. I told you that requires a little bit of thinking beforehand. So when you write, you're prepared for the scenario. You know who these people are, who you're addressing, and most importantly, you are responding to an individual's, or to, in this case, a couple's earlier letter. And they expect a reaction, but they received a bitter response. And this also, another inappropriate is that the salutation, we did not observe what IELTS asked us, so expect a very low score based on that. What next? I can see, yeah, there is overuse of discourse markers, like and some of them are not used accurately, like since somewhere, or wasn't punctuated accurately. That means transition between one element to another wasn't done accurately. And then also bad salutation affects general coherence. So it's not sufficient or well anymore, or logical anymore. Vocabulary resources, good. There were spelling errors mostly for words, none of which affected my understanding. I could understand all the words. The word choice, however, was not, you know, very fitting to the letter. And grammatical range and accuracy, yes, we had the use of would that was not logical. There was will, was not logical either. Some grammar that must be a statement, so you need to use a present simple tense, like promise. So a promise is a state verb too. So they're very strong. You need to know when you are using these small lexical grammar or grammatical structures for some specific words. You need to know what you are doing with them. This has the potential to get 5.5, but I'm not sure if that is the score you're hoping to see. My best piece of advice right now is to make sure before you start writing to know who you are writing to and know your characters, the people you're addressing, and also you know the tone when you write, when you address. If you are Chris's best friend or one of his closest friends, then you shouldn't say that I forgot his birthday. That doesn't sound very, even if you had forgotten his birthday, you should have come up with something, an excuse or something like that to make sure that your words even and your sentences shout that you are saddened by the fact that you had forgotten the birthday and you had arranged something for that day. On that note, I hope I'll be assessing more essays or more letters from you later on. Take care.